make sure you have your materials. Get a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper. I just took a piece of cardboard out of an old box. I'm going to use crayons today, but whatever materials you have in hand are perfectly fine. You can use pencils, crayons, markers. If you don't have those things, make sure you check out online some resources that are free for creating art. So I'm going to start drawing today by creating the vase and the horizontal line in the background for the table and the wall. Now we are making a sunflower still life inspired by the artist Vincent van Gogh. When I draw the ovals for the sunflowers, there's no wrong or right way to do them. Just don't make them too big or too small. Try to make them medium-sized. I'm going to go ahead and color in those wobbly oval shapes with an orange crayon. Now I really like working on the cardboard instead of a white piece of paper. It kind of fills in the background, so I don't have to work quite as hard to cover up all those white spots like you would on a white piece of paper. So I highly recommend just using an old piece of cardboard if you can find one, maybe out of your pantry or your recycle bin. Ask your parents for help if you need to. I used a pair of scissors to cut the shape of the paper so that way I wouldn't have any rough edges, but you can also tear the cardboard if you need to with your hands if you do not have access to a pair of scissors. I am now just adding a zigzag line around the outside of the flower petals, and these are going to have a couple different colors mixed on top of them. Van Gogh used a lot of expressive lines, so I'm not going to worry too much about making the flower petals look precise and accurate. They're going to be more expressive with my zigzag line. I'm going to get some white and mix a little bit of white in there for a nice highlight detail in my flower petals. That looks pretty good. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, I gotta do the ones on this side. Don't forget to do all of them. Now the nice thing about drawing with crayon is that if you make a mistake, you cannot fix it. That means whatever you make, you're just going to have to go with it. I like that. Van Gogh didn't worry about making mistakes. If he made a mistake, he turned it into something else. So take your time and don't worry about making mistakes. It'll all look good in the end. Just cover it up maybe with another color or something. So let's add a little bit of brown to those inside lines, those radial lines that go around the center of the flower, just to give it a little bit more contrast in our coloring. Now I'm going to move on to coloring in the rest of my picture. Again, one of the nice things about working with cardboard is that I don't have to worry about getting every single little tiny spot colored in perfectly. The background, which is already brown, kind of fills in some of that space for me. Now when coloring the big spaces like the table and the wall, press lightly and just shade with the side of the crayon. Hold it at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, hold it on its side, and you'll be able to just lightly shade it in, and you don't have to worry about pressing hard and coloring in every single little spot. Again, I'm going to use green, and I'm going to fill in that space around the flowers. That would be considered the wall behind my still life. So my flowers are in the middle, and they're sitting on a table, and behind the table is just a wall, and I'm going to make my wall green. You can use any color you want for your background, for your wall. Just choose a color that you like, that you think would look nice. Now, I'm probably not going to pick a color that's the same as the flowers because then you won't see them. So pick a color that's different from the flowers. The next step is to add little dashes and little lines to give texture and detail. Van Gogh is known for his painting style where he uses short lines that look like dashes to create detail and light and pattern in his art. So take your time and fill the vase, the table, and the wall space with those short dashed lines. Again, if you make a mistake, no one is going to know. You are the only person who knows that you make a mistake. If I were to look at my picture, I could probably find 3 or 4 things that I would want to change or make better, or maybe I think are mistakes. But when you look at it, you don't see them. So it is okay if you have a mistake in your picture. Just continue doing your best possible work and be proud of the art that you have created. Take your time, make sure you don't miss any spots, fill in all of your picture. Once you are done, make sure you take a picture of it and upload to Artsonia.